And there's the intro. How's it going, everybody? I haven't been on YouTube a lot lately doing all my documenting and reporting because I'm working my ass off. I was jackhammering and digging ditches on Friday and been doing some media production stuff, my two part-time jobs other than the small business I'm running. But I'm doing my best to make time to do some interviews with some important people, some people with experience and some knowledge about the real world, how things work. And today we're talking to one of those people. We've got Vince Edwards with us, who I met on, I'm on Telegram a lot, which is an app, if you're not familiar, that people can get together and talk, have live conversations, and have a chat room where you can post information. If you talk about something, you can post with sauce to back up what you're saying, and which is what we call, when we're digging on information, we call that the sauce that we put in the chat. But Vince was guest speaker on the Punisher War Room, I don't know, last week or something like that. And I thought, man, this guy's been through some stuff, some similar stuff to what I've been through. He knows what he's talking about. And I think it'd be a good idea to have him on my YouTube channel and interview him. So here he is. This is Vince Edwards with Oath Enforcers. And thanks for being with us today, man. I appreciate it.
How you doing, Michael? And I knew you were going to go to me right when I went to go grab that link and post it in the chat room.
Oh, that's okay.
For the Punisher, but no, that's fine. I'm doing great, man. I just posted that link to the Punisher in the chat room here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and we'll be doing that a little bit, just like I was talking about. So Vince is on it. He's posting the link to Punisher War Room. What is that to your interview on?
Yeah, that's direct to the interview in the newsroom. Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Dude, you're like the Mike Barden live stream admin. That's awesome. Appreciate it.
Right on.
Yeah. So Vince was talking about when we were in the war room about constitutional law, common law, maritime law, corporate law, all the different terms for all the different laws, and he's had some experience with a lot of this firsthand. And just when I was listening to him talk, I was like, God, this guy's knowledgeable. He didn't take a class on this and just decide, okay, well, I'm going to share what I learned in this class. He's been through it himself and learned as he's gone and been in the courtroom and basically DIY, do it yourself law education. We're not attorneys. He's not an attorney. We're not giving you legal advice.
Yeah. I like to say bang my own head against the wall just to keep, going at it and see if it eventually goes through.
Yeah. It's it's a learning process, and when you do it on your own and not just go to a class and learn about how it's supposed to work, because a lot of us know, well, anybody who's been through some kind of training or certification or degree or something like that, you learn how it's supposed to work, and then you go do the job, and it's completely different from what you were taught. And so this is real world, on the boots on the ground experience.
And in every job, and I've done so many different jobs, it's like you get to a certain point where you're like, okay, wait a minute, we could do this particular job better. And there's so many jobs out there where they don't want you to do that. They just want you to work there for 40 years and make this widget and don't offer any suggestions. So I guess you could say that part, I didn't expect this to come up, has made me good for this particular job, where it's like we're doing something totally new, never been tried before, but we're just taking a whole bunch of different things out there that work, and then we're just going to mash it all together and turn it into a professional organization, a bunch of people that just go out there and enforce the oath of office. We're not a political organization. We're not getting involved with that. All we care about is we don't care who's in what seat, really. It's just whether or not they're respecting my rights personally. Let me get real selfish about it. You know what I'm saying? This is a very selfish motivation that I have to get other people to stand up for their rights, because that way it'll be much easier for me to stand up for mine. I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I've had all of my crap robbed from me twice in my life now, just because I will do it anyway, whereas, I've had two times in my life, I said, where's the warrant? Where's your warrant? You can't arrest me. and it escalated and became a big thing, and I got thrown in jail, and all my stuff got stolen. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm saying, where's your paper document that authorizes you, the government, to put your hands on me and throw me in a cage? That
Isn't it
doesn't seem
weird?
like a huge thing to ask, man. And
Isn't
and
it?
people don't realize we don't even have that right now. It's
It's
that
so,
far away that they just grab you, throw you in a vehicle, and take you to the cage now.
yeah, yeah. I've been there. The people that listen to my
Oh,
YouTube
yeah.
channel hear me talk about it, and that's part of the reason I wanted to have you on here because we've experienced
Yeah.
some similar things. But isn't it weird how if you stand up for yourself and you assert your rights, they make it 10 times worse to punish you for exercising your freedom and your
I
rights.
hate discussing that part of it because then
Okay.
it's like anybody that's listening, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll think twice about it, maybe I'll think that we won't shouldn't do that."
No, that's the
But yeah,
worst thing
man,
to do.
it's hard. It's a tough road that we hoe, people that stand up for their rights. I mean, let's face it, we're not going to talk anybody out of standing up for their rights that's already doing it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because we know that the reason why we're doing it is because we had them violated, most of us, and we realize that we need rights, We realize that there's a need for it, and it's unfortunate, but they have to see it. They have to see it to believe it. They have to see it actually happening in their own lives to believe it, that you can lose your rights, But I don't understand how we just went through this lockdown thing where you actually have like kings, they're kings on their thrones that can make a decree, and their word is law. And now everybody has to wear a mask. It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, at what point did our government, the form of government, change? You know what I'm saying? Where we now have kings. I thought we had a republic.
Well, I
So
think that was 1871, but we won't even get into that whole thing. Yeah, that's when we became
yeah,
a
it became a
corporation, and
corporation. Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
we're cargo of the corporation. So, but that's a whole nother talk show. That's
yeah,
actually this last month and a half. The interviews I've done have been about that. I had a guy named Branson on my channel who's been through the system himself and became an expert on the different types of law, maritime law, constitutional law, and then a guy called financial guru James. He's on. You might even have heard him on. Let's see, in the Matrix, the Telegram. He's one of the administrators there. He's on the path to become a national. Do all the proper
right
process,
on.
all the paperwork, and all that stuff.
Now,
Jump
you
through
know
all the.
what? I did all of that paperwork. I thought I did a pretty good job. I thought I did a thorough job. Maybe I didn't do maybe I didn't do everything right in the right order, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I could swear I studied hard. I, sent everything off to everybody, you know what I'm saying? I did the registration and everything else
Yep.
like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, really, I think if you can't walk the walk, and you don't have backup, then all of this stuff, if we're all just sitting here alone, you know what I'm saying, and they can come
Yeah.
grab we can have all of our ducks in a row, man.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if
they're
but if
not going to
this
make it.
state wants you,
They're not going to make it easy because I
mm,
mean, if you put it into context, you're basically a slave trying to run from the plantation for your freedom. And the slaves, when they were trying to run from the plantation to run for freedom, it wasn't just like, hey, cross the street, catch a bus, and go to wherever. I mean, they were running
yep,
miles
yep.
across,
I've
rivers
said
and
that so many times
yeah.
myself.
And, and,
Yep.
and we're in the same situation. It's just more passive aggressive now because
People
it's
people think
hidden.
they're free. They
Yeah.
think they're free, and so they don't. What's the big deal? You know what I'm saying about me wanting some freedom?
Yeah.
It's because you're not free. They
Yeah.
already own you.
Yeah, literally. We
So
went to the. Me and James. James showed me the websites that you can go to. That you've
mm,
probably seen these,
yeah,
where
I
you can
don't
see.
agree. I don't agree. But they do like legally, own you. Somehow they've like done this weird magical
Yeah, it's the birth.
concoction that
Yeah,
goes on to paperwork, and
birth
you we
certificate, social
yep,
security numbers, your corporate employee number. But yeah,
yep,
James showed us the websites where you can go put in your social security number, and you can see which corporations have literally bought and sold
yep,
your bond, I believe,
yep. But
and
slavery is supposed to be outlawed,
it
right?
is.
It's
It is.
supposed to be by our 13th Amendment.
Yeah.
Which one depends on which one you want to go by, which 13th Amendment you want to go by. Another rabbit hole we can go down. We could go down rabbit holes all day long, my brother.
Oh, we could be here talking for a month straight.
We could do a weekly show on that kind of stuff, man.
We absolutely could. So, but I'll start with what we talked. Vince and I talked a little bit before the live stream here, and I never make notes when I do my interviews. I just boom, go just talk. But we made a couple notes because there's some things that specifically I wanted to talk to Vince about. And one, when you say we, you're talking about oath enforcers.
Mm-hmm.
You're with a group or started a group. Just tell me a little bit about oath enforcers and what the objective or the goal is, and how you're part of that.
Okay. Right. So struggled for about probably 6 years or so to get this thing off the drawing board as Patriot Camp. That's what it was previously branded as. And I guess a lot of people thought it was a summer camp, or, it sounded like summer camp. Some people thought like, Patriot Camp was too similar to FEMA camp. I don't know. And it had bad connotation. I had a lot of bad comments about it over the 6 years, but I was just basically, it's a place to go to learn how to be a patriot, You go to this place and we teach you all these different skills, this knowledge that you need to know. It came after about 12 years of deep self-study in law. And a big shout out to myprivateaudio.com, which is Angela's My Private Audio. She just had all kinds of self-study gurus on there every single week for 9 or 10 or 11 years. Everybody should definitely dig into that. In the cat, when you get over there at Oath Enforcers on Telegram. That's how you get there, Oath Enforcers on Telegram. And then that you'll be right at the help desk. I'm sure somebody will probably be there to help you out, thankfully, because we've got lots of volunteers at the help desk. And we've got lots of groups. And this started like 2 days. I don't know if I'm jumping around or whatever, but this started 2 days after the inauguration, and I was like, I'm a Q guy from December, back October. You know what I'm saying? And I follow any breadcrumb like from 20 years before Q. You know what I'm saying? So Q was just a place to get information that was checking out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And as soon as January 20th rolled by, and from all the people that were the talking heads at the time in the Q movement saying that Trump's going to be president don't worry, as of January 20th, he's going to be president. It was like, he's not. And, there's going to be an inauguration. And now we're going to go into the conspiracy crazy zone where it's like, okay, now there's a fake president and everything's fake and all this these 30 executive orders. The only way for the flurry of executive orders, right, on Biden's first day to not freak everyone out and have like the public in a massive uprising is you have most of the people that are fully aware of that situation thinking it's fake, I think. And then all the people that are unaware of it, you don't have to worry about those people because they're not aware of what's going on. They don't even read an executive order. So, I mean, it's very disturbing what's going on. I'm seeing the results of the executive orders, even though I'm trying really, really hard not to watch the news. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole philosophy behind the Oath Enforcers, if you watch the introduction video, is we need to stop spreading news around, trying to wake people up. If people are not awake as a result of that last election, you're either dead or you're in a coma, because everybody's awake watching what's going on nationally, who's going to pay attention, who isn't brain dead or a vegetable or just doesn't care, right? 2 weeks before an election, they're all tuning in. They all tune in to the last three presidential debates usually. You know what I'm saying, that are on the mainstream media for everybody. So if they couldn't see that, and then you had to have heard about a Donald Trump rally over the course of the last 4 years, you know what I'm saying, where it's like we have, and then now I want you to apply that, again, skipping around here, but you apply that Donald Trump rally how many people are from what counties in that area that are going to that particular rally? Okay, now we take and say, hey, how many oath enforcers could we have per county if we got
Yep.
people committed to go to a Donald Trump rally and just be on call? Will you be on call when your fellow neighbors are saying my rights are being violated? I want the guarantee. Okay, there's a guarantee supposedly that my rights are guaranteed by the Constitution, but it's just a piece of paper. They take an oath to it. Somebody's got to enforce it. What do you do? Call the cops? Cops, I need you to enforce this Constitution here. Somebody's violating the Constitution. Who is it? It's a cop. What do you do in that situation? You need to call somebody that's not a cop. What do you do? Call a politician? Call the FBI? Do you call the governor? You call all those people. Give it a try sometime. None of them will help you. Let me spoiler alert.
That happened with me, and people that watch my channel know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I called the police were part of this organized stalking and harassment. And again, I always have to reiterate, I'm not anti-police officer. I'm anti-state enforcement agent, pro.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Michael for just a minute here. I don't know if he can hear me. Maybe I can message him and let him know he's been lost. You froze. I'm not froze. We are live right now. Okay. Actually, I can go over there and maybe read a little bit of the chat until he comes back on. Let's see what's going on in the chat over here. Here we go. You're back. You just froze for a little bit there. I tried to not have any dead air for a little bit for you. And it looks like you are now frozen again. Is that me frozen or you frozen? That's a good question, isn't it?
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Okay, now I can hear you. Yep, you're back.
Okay,
I guess that's me. I've been live the whole time.
But that was impeccable timing. That never happens on my channel. So anyway, so that happened with me.
Right on. Yeah, I was rolling the whole time. I try to keep it no dead air. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So. Hold on. I need to. Let's see. I have like an extra camera up here for some reason. All right. Anyway.
And I'm loading the chat just in case so I can say hey to everybody in here. We got 49 watching right now. That's like a personal record, I have to say.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Sometimes we get up to a couple hundred here. So,
right on.
But just to finish what I was saying, it must be important since the internet went out at that exact moment.
Yep.
The local police department gets federal funding to do this watch listing, organized stalking, harassment, gang stalking. And I called the FBI. I've called Department of Homeland Security. I've called the Sheriff's Department. I've called everybody. And every single time I called one of those people to explain to them what I'm going through and try to work it out or ask for help, they just tell me to call somebody else. The FBI tells me to call the local police department. Local police department tells me to call Department of Homeland Security. It's the pass the buck over and over and over. And I would just get gaslit. And, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm a former active duty firefighter.
That's all they ever do is pass the buck. Yep.
Yeah.
And start asking them if they have an oath of office. Do that sometimes. That's an adventure.
Well, but that brings us to what oath enforcers is a group of people that can be on call basically to be a witness to something that you're going through. If your constitutional rights are being violated, if you're being arrested or set up and arrested, if you're going to court and not receiving due process, basically just a group to be witnesses to keep an eye on the judicial system. Right? Am I explaining this correctly?
It's not necessarily actually it is the judicial system. I mean, pretty much we're there to provide transparency because it's really like there's all different forms of transparency that are available to us. And we just don't utilize this stuff because we literally don't know how the world works. I mean, I was just saying this today is that we go through 4 years of or 12 years of school, and we're never taught commerce. And oh my God, that's how everything works in the world. The world runs on contracts. We're not taught contract law in high school, just basic stuff, how to balance a checkbook. The world runs on banks, So, I mean, it's obvious that we're just trained to just be sheeple. We're just trained to just be sheep and be consumers. And beware, because they don't need as many of us to consume anymore. They're going to be getting, you're going to be in the way very shortly if you're not already. Donald Trump's out of the way. Pretty soon me and Michael will be out of the way. And I got like Tabitha in Texas that's stepping up, and she's doing an awesome job with the masks.
I'm not going to be out of the way. Yep. I'm not going anywhere.
So,
well, I could be. I don't know. They could throw me in prison by June, because they say I'm violating my probation because I won't take a psychological evaluation. But I know how the system works, and that they're going to just pay off.
I can tell you about my 2 psychological evaluations, by the way, and I have 2 PhD letters that I am not crazy. Okay, so anytime they want to come at me again, by the way, you know what I'm saying? Feel free to throw the crazy card down again, and they will always play it. And congratulations, because that means they didn't have any other card to play. They had to try the crazy card. Yep.
Yeah, it's the lawfare that they use against us. If you are intelligent enough to figure out their game plan, and a good enough investigator, and you're a well-spoken person, you can get online and you can explain what's going on, then they want to.
And you don't have to dish out thousands for an attorney, meaning that you have an unlimited lifespan on your case. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is pay gas money, and you need paper for the printer, you know what I'm saying, and printer ink, and an internet connection. You know what I'm saying? That those are your only expenses. You're dangerous.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That if you have the capability to do that and teach other people what's going on, stand up for yourself in court, they go, well, okay, this is our last ditch effort. Let's call this person crazy. We can put them into a 30-day hold into a mental hospital. We can deem them delusional or schizophrenic, and then that way, if they go to court, nothing they say in court is valid. Because we have this power over this person.
And that's a good topic to switch to here, is because we need roles. One of the things that we're going to be doing next is that we need to actually create the roles for your oath enforcers team. We're going to, it's going to be autonomous, open source, but in order for people to envision it and create it on their local level, they got to be like, okay, we need a negotiator. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody that's the educator, somebody that does, what we were just talking about 2 minutes ago, somebody that's the social media director, you know what I mean? So all these different roles, we create the roles, and then people will come in and go, oh, so that's what an oath enforcers team looks like. This is what we have to do. And then another thing I always mention, and I want to plug it every single time, is First Amendment auditors, because there's hundreds of them out there that have, thousands of them out there, but at least hundreds of them out there that have thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers. Okay. A couple hundred to some, 1,000, 100,000 in a few cases.
Yeah.
Those could be on call to service a couple of different county teams. If they have something serious that's major, like we got to call the big guy in here, you know what I'm saying, who's the major guy that has 200,000 subscribers. We got to get him on the case and have them come out and coordinate with all these people and network. And the math is undeniable. If we get organized and we get smart, and I like to say really smart, I like that hashtag, then we can beat these people. And these people are stupid.
So let me explain to the people
for a very long time.
Let me explain to the people that are watching that aren't familiar with what a First Amendment auditor is compared to like an oath enforcer.
The original oath enforcers.
Yeah, the First Amendment auditors, basically, they're people that go out and they film police interacting with people on attempted arrests or different things like that, and they could basically stop you from having to have the oath enforcers show up to be a witness in court, because they're documenting and reporting the interaction with police and showing that to the public, shining
The
light on
first
that
priority
situation.
goal of our First Amendment auditors team of oath enforcers would be to prevent the interaction from escalating into a court situation.
Yep.
And it gets dialed down, and the cop gets back to his car. He goes away. He realizes, oh, I'm violating. I didn't even know about my oath of office, first of all, and I was violating it. And so I think I'm going to go away now.
Yeah.
And boom, and you got a happy camper there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's a happy customer of your private business that you have, which is called oath enforcement, because it's a service that we offer, and we think it's a very valuable service. We think there's a very high demand for it. So let's talk about something else that we were just talking about on the pre-interview, is this mask thing for businesses, right? Just a specific thing. And then supporting as a whole local businesses that will enforce the Constitution, that will respect your rights, and having a list of people in your county. Start making a list. Will you support local businesses that will just, say no to the county about all this mask mandate stuff, and, like, for example, put this thing up on their door where literally code enforcement's not allowed in?
Yeah.
We have them over here. Go get the sign, stick it on your door. If you have a business, everybody's got to grab one.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok video. There was a business in Texas, I believe, where the sheriff of all people, they're supposed to be the ones that are looking out for us the most. And there are some that are, I believe, but this business kicked the sheriff out and code enforcement out. They said you have
when
no
they were
right
actually
to
in there. Yeah,
I
remember the one you were referring to. They're like, get out, get out, get out.
Yeah,
like,
those guys. I was cheering them on. I was like, get out.
Yeah.
So,
you were like, when are they going to whip their guns out and start, like, macing these people?
That's
what you're waiting for.
You stood up to us. I need to go back here a minute.
Yep, sure.
Just about the First Amendment auditors and the oath enforcement thing. So, First Amendment auditors aren't just to stop any kind of police interaction. If somebody robs a bank, or they do, like carjack somebody or something like that, okay, we want the police to go stop that interaction, right? So we're not just saying that First Amendment auditors are people that just give you some kind of shelter from the police if you're trying to harm somebody else or take something from somebody else. That's not what it's about. It's about if your constitutional rights are being violated, if you're being used as a commodity, as far as just a warm body to fill a prison cell for a private prison.
They really protect the shit out of banks, don't they?
Oh, well, yeah, especially the central banks, right?
Try to rob a bank, yo.
Yeah, well, the Rothschilds.
You get away with all kinds of other shit, man, but whoa, try to rob a bank.
Yeah, well, rob a Rothschild who robs us every day with the Federal Reserve and inflation and
isn't it amazing how well they protect money? It's just amazing. They can't protect our rights worth a damn, but it's amazing how good they are at protecting money.
Yeah.
And you stick your ATM card in that thing, man, your bank account, that sucker's always dead on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Never any mistakes there.
There'll never be a mistake there. Oh, wow, look, there's another $3,000 here. That's cool. I think I'm gonna take that sucker out right now.
Yeah, there's only mistakes in their favor, not in yours.
But the voting machines, man, 3 million or however many, 30 million, 100 million they spend on voting machines. But the things can't spit out the same total at all the time, $14 calculator, though.
It's weird how those glitches show up in specific times, places, and events.
$14 calculator comes out right every time. It's amazing. Just dead on. So if we're supporting local businesses on, like, if you will enforce the Constitution, like, literally you can call us and we'll have like 30 people at your doorstep. You know what I'm saying? If they want to come here and start harassing you, we'll have 30 people at your doorstep physically, plus we'll have maybe 100K watching online. If we could make those kind of promises, we personally can't make that right now. You know what I'm saying? But we're trying to build the organization that can provide that service to you, and we know that's possible because we just had almost 100,000, 94 million people is what I believe is how many people actually voted for Donald Trump, because I believe the Germany numbers, the ones from the server in Germany. You know,
Okay.
I don't know if you heard about that, but I
Yeah,
actually
well, I've
do
heard about
believe that
all of it.
that's the actual numbers, and it was like 60 million for Joe Biden.
So just to keep my YouTube channel on the air, this isn't verified proof yet. This is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we've come to our
yeah.
conclusions
This
that
is my conspiracy theory, and
we
you know, I have tinfoil hat on underneath this hat right here. So
well, keep in mind the CIA coined the term conspiracy theory in 1967 when people started asking questions about the murder of John F. Kennedy. So
right,
we'll just
yeah,
so
that might be a high level of truth. I don't know if you're allowed to put that out here, but anyway.
no, yeah, absolutely. I've talked about it before. Yeah,
Okay,
John
all
D'Souza.
right,
I don't know if
cool,
you're familiar with John D'Souza. He worked for the FBI for 25 years. He's
right,
the one that told me that in person
right.
when he was training me to
I mean,
be
they take doctors down, you know, who are sitting there saying there's a cure for this thing that they don't want a
Oh
cure
yeah,
for.
yeah. I'm surprised I'm still
Take
on
that
YouTube
down.
or Twitter or any of it. There's got to be somebody
Yeah,
looking out for me somewhere because
yeah.
I still have all of my platforms and everything. So knock on wood. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe yeah. I don't know. I don't want to
I'm
speculate.
pretty much down with the whole divorcing myself from big tech
Yeah.
completely. And I have a badge of honor, and that is I was suspended from Twitter the same day as our 45th president, Donald J. Trump.
Oh wow.
Yep. So thank you
Okay.
so much for that. I'm in an exclusive club there. So we all got
I've thought
suspended
about
the same
like maybe
day.
when all of this is over, which corruption will never completely be over, but
Yeah.
like the digital soldiers and the citizen investigators, people that have just
Yeah.
on their own accord delved into this and done what they could to help our country and other people. We get like some medals, kind of like in the military.
Yeah.
Digital Soldier Award Level 1, Digital Soldier.
See, I'm that important, man. The same day it was like we got to get rid of Donald Trump and Vince Edwards, right? And
That
70,000
is
other people, but
badge
you
of
know,
honor, man.
that's besides the point.
Badge of
But,
honor. That's awesome. So let's
no,
go.
but yeah, part of it's 70,000 anyway. So
Wait,
anyway,
say that again.
I'm in the boat with 70,000 other people that
Oh,
got
okay.
voted.
That got removed that day. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how I've done it,
So
but
I'm in that club.
okay.
Yeah, the club of 70,000. So
I'm not sure what the reason is that
they all got jacked. That's what I heard. About 70,000 people got jacked off of Twitter that same day.
wow.
Yeah.
So, and now we were talking about Telegram earlier. So if you guys haven't heard about Telegram, that seems to be a platform that we can go on. It can be kind of an echo chamber because not everyone can see the Telegram. Anyone can join these certain rooms. Some of them you have to be accepted into. But Telegram's been okay so far, and
Not everybody can join in the chat conversation, is what you're saying, right? And then you have some channels, and then some are groups. You've got channels, and then people can't join in the conversation. But then you can actually join a group to your channel. I just figured this stuff. It's cool. The features of Telegram, you got to get into. It's freaking cool. All right.
Yeah.
Because you basically can join your group to your channel, and then you can have stuff on your channel, and then basically people can chat on to that particular thing in the group, right? So you're connecting and basically helps your group interact with your channel. So anybody that's already got a pretty decent channel, you can have a massive boost in interaction in your Telegram channel by adding a group to it and then linking them together.
Hey, speaking of, I just noticed that you put your link to Oath Enforcers in the private chat, so only I can see that. If you want to put it in the your comments,
I do have it in the I didn't have that up before, but I got it up now. So
okay. So if you want to do that, then everybody can find Oath Enforcers on Telegram and then learn how to use Telegram because it is that's where I met Vince. He was talking in the Punisher War Room.
yeah.
And
we do have a website that is coming due shortly. It should be launched probably, I would say, within the next couple of days. Just a WordPress basic thing. But pretty much, I would say that we're losing right now, I would say 2/3 of our potential intake because there's tons of people out there that are handing out flyers. Every day. I mean, if I had to, off the top of my head, ballpark say it, maybe we're getting 100 to between 100 and 500 flyers out per day nationally. Maybe,
okay.
I'd like it to obviously be a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that people will sign up and grab our flyers. It's wicked easy. It's 2/3 of a page, front and back, 2/3 of a page, and people get it. They get the flyer, and it's like you go right through the how it works section in the middle. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do it 1, 2, 3 like this, and you have your autonomous private business, and this is how you're going to self-fund yourself. We've got it all laid out for you, and you can see that it's a legitimate program, and people want to get involved, and they can find their state group, their county group. Everybody can find it from that flyer, so you're not locally exposed as you're building your team. So we've got that feature already included. And then what we want is for you to get your people together, meet basically privately. Don't be publicly exposing yourselves too much as you're building your team, and getting ready, because what you want to be able to do is have like about 30 people. On the average, bigger counties would probably need a lot more. But like bigger counties on the average, that you go and do an introduction, and that's why when you're gonna bring the Constitution with you, you're gonna have flyers with you, and you're gonna be in front of the police station, the courthouse, the county buildings, right, your town hall. The sheriff's department. I want you to be hitting them all in the same day, right? You have your teams just split up between all the different buildings, and make sure everybody that's got an oath of office or may have an oath of office or works for somebody that has an oath of office, they get a Constitution and one of your flyers, and you let them know who you are. And you're the oath enforcers. And then that way, when they see you, when we get active, when we start going on calls, and we go to a location, they're not going to be so surprised when we show up. They're going to be like, we are here, and we will be here to provide transparency to your public interactions. Because we have a right to do that.
Yeah, which is what all we want.
Yeah.
What you and I ended up talking
it's everything, really.
On this interview is we both learned firsthand that transparency is
everything,
a big deal. If certain organizations will become more and more corrupt because they can hide in the shadows, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. So shining the light on corruption can get some of these organizations back to operating above water, I guess that's how I want to say it.
The politically correct version, and then I'll translate over here. How's that?
Hey, no problem, man.
Corruption on corrupt political actors, and I'll be like cockroaches.
Yeah, some of them are, man. Yeah, that's you like you go out to the garage, flip the light on, the cockroaches run. That's exactly how this whole thing operates.
And that's how it's going to operate too. So we discussed on the pre-interview where I was sitting in jail, and I wouldn't take a plea, and they were trying to run me and 800 other people, by the way, that they did run out of the county that were trying to live off grid free, but weren't going to be paying into the system, right? They weren't going to pay for permits for this, that, and the other thing. Mm-hmm. Even property taxes, trying to show people how to get out of paying property taxes, just by doing private land transfers. You know what I'm saying? There's other things you can do too. But I'm not going to really, that's a pretty big bombshell. If people want to talk to me privately about that, I'm happy to release that kind of information.
Yeah.
But mainly, what we want to be doing is just building these teams in every single county. We've got a goal of 30 oath enforcers on the average per county. You've got 3,142 counties, times that number 30, you got 94,290, I think is what it comes out to. And if you take 94 million, then you're talking about 0.1% is 94,000. So we literally we don't have to wake it. So this is proof and evidence of what I'm saying when I say we do not need to wake up another living soul. That's just all icing if you get somebody else to wake up right now. All we need to do is hand out as many flyers until we get 0.1% of the people that already voted for Donald Trump, because they knew that there was a serious problem going on. You only voted for Trump because you knew that there was a serious problem. You were voting for him based on principle. I don't think too many people were voting for Donald Trump because of his personality, right?
I like his personality personally. I like him. I like that he just doesn't give a fuck sometimes and says whatever he wants. And
And you and I do, but most people, let's face
yeah,
it,
yeah,
not
yeah.
voting
Most people
for
are
him.
like, well, he's kind of rough around the edges. When he when somebody
And
tries
they would
to,
not vote for him because of that. And they would admit that that's their only problem. He's just a little rough around the edges. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
mean, not this other, all this other good reasons, all these other good reasons why people should be voting for him.
yeah.
But, but they did, by the way. We didn't lose the election, but that's just my conspiracy theory claim. So
Thanks for following that up to keep my channel safe here, man. I appreciate it. Doesn't it suck that we have to say stuff like that? Well, we haven't verified anything yet.
Sorry.
So I saw General Flynn, actually, he's on Twitter, and he followed me when he was still on Twitter, actually.
From now on, when I come on YouTube, as a disclaimer, I will just wear a straight up tinfoil hat. I'll make it up. I'll have it on.
I know a particle physicist that literally wears one for electronic attacks, but that's a whole other talk show.
But that's my mug on TV in a tinfoil hat is my disclaimer. You can just disclaim everything I say just by that, right? Just how So
hey, anyway. Speaking about that, people are asking in the comments. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments here, and they're asking if you're a targeted individual. And no, Vince is not a targeted individual. I mean, everyone in some aspect is targeted through weaponized systems. If you step out of line and you aren't obeying the crown rule that we've been under, that they can target you. But no, Vince is not a targeted individual, like somebody that's been put through FISA court and experienced non-judicial punishment like I have, and like Karen Milton Stewart. And we were talking, and actually Vince has done an interview with Karen Milton Stewart. She worked for the NSA for 28 years. She's a linguist, speaks like 5 different languages, responsible for saving thousands of military lives with her intel. And she's a personal friend of mine, and was how I discovered that what I was going through is a program, a DHS program, watch list kind of thing, scam, and has written me actually a personal affidavit, signed affidavit for one of my court cases. So, but it kind of being a TI and having your rights taken away from you, whether it's through the FISA court or being subjected to a kangaroo court, not being a TI, it all kind of goes together because our rights have been taken away.
Or having some evidence prove that that's false, and then they just switch that out, and you proved that false. We're not going to drop this. We're just going to switch out the evidence and use something else.
Yeah.
But go on.
No, yeah. I was just kind of saying how this all kind of ties together because you and I have never met, and yet you interviewed one of my, I don't know if I should say mentors. She's a mentor. I look up to her. Somebody who's been through almost the exact same thing that I have. Everybody has different things that are going on in their life, but her and I have experienced a lot of the same things. She's been on my show, and after a series of events, here you are on my show. So we're all kind of in the same circle of people trying to search for the truth, stand up for our rights, get our constitutional rights back. And I think, did you say that you had a link to that interview that you did with Karen somewhere?
I do. I can actually, if you talk for a couple more minutes, I will go grab it and I'll put it up for you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so like I was saying, Vince isn't a TI. He's just a guy that has experienced a lot of things in his personal life, that he stood up for his rights and started learning how the system works, and has become an advocate for other people's rights. And I have to agree with you, man.
I'm a 24th level Patriot Dungeon Master.
24th level. Do you get like certifications for each one?
But I'm not really sure. I just made it up. So
I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. It's like my YouTube certifications. Whenever I need to learn something new, like do some brakes on a car, I go on YouTube and get my YouTube certification.
It depends on how many times you were brutalized by the police for standing up for your rights. We should get medals for that.
Yeah, really.
Definitely. Well, who knows, man? I want a couple of medals, man, for that.
Yeah, yeah. And I agree. I can identify with something you said earlier. You said this is kind of a selfish or I'm doing this for myself. I am too.
Yeah,
I'm doing
that's
this
my
to,
selfish motive. Yeah,
I'm doing
full
this to protect
disclosure.
myself and to get my life back, to get my freedom back. But in the process, I'm going to get as much information out as I can, because I don't want to see other people have to go through this same bullshit that I've been through, because all it's going to do is tear down our society. Because if one person after another has to go through this, then we're just living in shit. We're living in slavehood, slavedom, whatever word you want to use. And yeah, it's just in the process of me standing up and fighting for myself. I'm going to do the best I can to actually uphold the oath to the Constitution that I swore to. When I was in the military, I swore an oath to the Constitution. When I was in the military, I saw some stuff going down that was unconstitutional, and I was one of the guys that was like, this doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem like we're looking out for the public's best interest.
Mhm.
You know, when I was a journalist, there were certain stories that I wanted to cover that had to do with the taxpayer dollars being used to do certain things or being lost, and I wanted to tell the public about what happened to their money. And I got told by upper management, forget about that. Go to Family Day, take pictures of the families with their babies, and let's focus on this positive thing. And I'm like, well, we had a jet crash at China Lake, and that was like $30-40 million aircraft that we lost in that, and I'd really like to do a story on that. And they were like, it'll go out in the news, don't worry. And it's like, no, I wanted to do that story because I would have, probably put some things in there that, didn't go along with the narrative or whatever the situation was. So anyway, that's what I'm still doing. I don't have a uniform or ID card or a paycheck or anything like that, but I'm just sticking to my constitutional oath to the Constitution and to the people of our country. And
unfortunately, the people that are actually getting paychecks to allegedly uphold their oath of office don't do it, by and large.
No, they're like NASCAR drivers. They need NASCAR outfits, and they need a patch from all the people they take contributions from to violate our constitutional rights.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down with that. I think we should definitely figure out a way to do that, to provide full disclosure. I think they should have patches on their uniform.
Who do they get money from?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, why not? NASCAR does it.
Yeah,
politicians get a little jumpsuit, and then they've got China.
We already make it a requirement of public disclosure who donates money anyway, so anybody can actually go and find that out anyway. And we do that for the purpose of keeping the public informed. So if we believe that the public is just not informed enough, then we should get together and say, okay, they're not informed enough, so we need to put patches on these people so we make it very clear who is sponsoring them, and it's not you, and it's not we the people, what I'm saying? It's all these people, all the patches, know?
Yep. And if you guys want to learn more about what he's talking about with bonds and trusts and how a lot of those things function, go back a couple interviews, and listen to those interviews with Branson and financial guru James. They talk about, a lot of the things that we get put through or we have to adhere to aren't about our safety. They're not about making the world a better place. They're about bonds and trusts and bringing enough money in from those bonds to make the money. I just ran into a wall.
I'm trying to find the link for his advocate. He's a good state citizenship guy to go check out on YouTube.
Who is that?
His advocate, HIS. His
okay.
Advocate.
Okay.
Yeah, is in God. So we're allowed to say that on YouTube.
God?
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. I don't care if we aren't supposed to. If they kick me off,
check the rules.
They won't pass the test. I pray to God every single day when I get up.
Dog spelled backwards and capitalized. Dog spelled backwards, capitalized.
Yeah. What's up with that? Yeah.
We'll just say that.
What's up with evil? EVIL. If you put it backwards, it's live. LIVE. How did that come about? Anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
Whoa. Yeah, you're getting too deep for me right there.
Yeah.
Right.
So Shit,
I have to
man.
sit here and ponder for at least 5 minutes and not talk and have dead air.
Our language is
Yeah.
really interesting when you really start thinking about words and how they're used, especially like with the maritime law thing,
Yeah.
shipment.
And you can go down such a rabbit hole. Good. Let me get on this for a second because you can
Right?
go down such a rabbit hole and you can get lost in all of these statutes and ordinances and acts and everything else going like, look, I read the Constitution and I got really good with that. Why is it that these people don't respect that? And they're, well, it's this code and this and this and that. And then like when I first really got real hardcore researching the actual legal system, it was over a pot violation, and they had dropped the case, and they said that the state's going to withdraw at this time. That was the language that they used. And then I've got a sheriff knocking on my door a month later saying, okay, we're going to charge you again for the same thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but we're just going to call it something different. And I'm like, what the hell's going on with that? And then my mentor at the time told me, well, it's because they said they were going to withdraw. That means they withdraw and they can re-enter it, readmit it at any time.
Anytime
They
they
didn't
want.
dismiss, right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, whoa. So it's not what I understand. It's the actual words they mean, say in the court, and they almost have like a mathematical reading.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning you go and look that up in a law dictionary, and that's what was
Mm-hmm.
meant, not what is everybody knows in the court that you intended. It's
So with,
what's meaning. What came out of your mouth. You know
yeah.
what I mean? It actually has almost a mathematical meaning. You know what I'm
Withdraw
saying?
means they're just taking it away for a little bit and they can go back again. Dismiss means that you're done. And
Right.
then one of the other ones I learned recently too is when the judge says, "Do you understand?" They don't mean like, "Do you comprehend what I'm saying?"
Yep.
They mean, "Do you stand under
You
me?"
stand under. Yep. And
Yeah.
again, rabbit hole, and I'm not saying it's not valid by saying rabbit hole, but it's like you can do this and it can keep you busy for a very long time. But
Mm-hmm.
until we organize together and we have the opportunity to be able to do that, because I've said this like, 5 years ago, I'm trying to put out, Patriot Camp and enforcing the Constitution in like a team effort, like 5 years ago. But everybody was like starstruck by Donald Trump the whole time. And I'm sitting there going, we need a plan B in case he doesn't get reelected. We have to have an actual force of people that enforce the Constitution, in case it can't be dependent on who's president, whether or not I have rights. I mean, if you don't get anything else from this interview, please get that one thing that we can't have our rights dependent on who's the president.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, the commies president, we're commies, is that how it's going to work?
It depends on us, me, you, all the people watching this, the people that they can talk to learn what we have intentionally not been taught going through our indoctrination system, the public school system, to learn on our own how things actually work, learn how I hate to say the enemy because we're all supposed to be.
We now have to teach each other that stuff, and we better
we
learn
have to teach
fast.
each other that stuff, ground level, and work together and learn how to take our freedom back. Okay, that being said, I think let's see here. We're just about at an hour, man. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that I didn't ask you about? I definitely think we should talk again. I think we should talk
Let me
again.
see. Wow, man, it seems like we almost just got started. We've been on here for like what, an hour or something already. Man, that time flies when you're having fun. Yeah. You know what? I don't mention it hardly ever enough, but I could use some donations. I'm not starving to death, but I also have like no cash right now. And I don't, I did get a stimulus check a little while ago, and I've got a bit of that left.
Oh, congratulations!
Full disclosure.
And
the organization is not going to die if you don't donate. But I would appreciate some donations, from anybody that appreciates the work I do, pretty much from the time that I wake up to the time that I go to sleep. I'm trying to set up an organization that's going to be like a hotline to call when your rights are being violated. And if you want to think of oath enforcers as what it is it's going to be like the fire department for the Constitution.
That's a great way to put it.
It's when you call up and my rights are being violated. If you have a guarantee on your rights, then when your rights are being violated, then it should be simple as a 1-800 number, and I mean, you don't need 800 numbers really that much anymore, but you call the hotline and people show up to remedy the situation, and your rights are then clarified to the public servant, and the situation is dialed down, and no harm, because the lawfare is doing so much untold damage, because they're not going to advertise any of that stuff on the mainstream media. But the lawfare, just think about what it does to you and me, right? You know what I'm saying, Michael? I mean, just us personally, the damage that the lawfare has done to us personally. Now equate that on the thousands and thousands of other people out there who try to stand up for their rights, and the system comes down on them. The amount of damage that's done with the jobs that are lost, you said you were in a business, if you get taken down, maybe you've got some employees, that they're out of the work, and
I used to have an employee. Yep.
Yeah. This could just be
I'm telling you guys,
a vicious circle.
What Vince is talking about right now is so damn important. If you haven't needed the constitutional fire department, we'll call them, before, and you don't understand how important it is, I would have given anything to be able to have somebody to call. I would have rather called an oath enforcement group than an attorney at the time that I was being arrested, because they could have came there to be witnesses.
No jail, in jail, no due process or anything like that. You'd give anything for having a little bit of transparency. You're sitting in there going, I can't believe this has happened. I can't believe this is going on, and nobody knows about it, right? And nobody knows about it. That's why it's going on.
Yeah, that's shining the light on this whole thing. I'm so happy that I had you on here, man, and to
it's nice to talk to somebody that identifies with your exact situation, because very few people can identify with what we went through. It's just hard to describe that, being in a jail in America and feeling I don't know, it probably isn't much different from a Mexican prison. Maybe those ones are even a little bit better, because I hear your family can just pass food through the bars to you over in Mexico. So what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely a trip. I wasn't in there as long as you were. I was in overnight basically, and got out the next day. So I can't identify with being in pretrial or anything like that. But I have a couple of videos that I got, body cam, that was released, where I had literally a guy that was sitting there standing over me and pretty much trying to talk me into committing suicide. It's a really interesting video. You'd have to take a look at it at some point. Be like, no, nobody cares about you, this and that. Just, oh my God, it was like, how can you actually say this to somebody that's sitting in jail right now? That's some psyop shit right there.
Unbelievable. It's like, when I watched it afterwards, while I'm sitting there, I'm going, man, I can't wait to get this body cam.
Yeah. I've tried to get those things and they denied them for me.
I mean, obviously I waited months to get that body cam, and then I have it, and that footage is up somewhere on my YouTube channel. So
right on.
Yep.
We could talk for hours and months. We could probably talk for a month straight about all of this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But the time of talk for really is, and the time to sit there and watch news and pass it around, that's got to be over now. Okay. People got to get organized. They got to get busy. They got to start going to their county meetings. That's some more stuff we could talk about. Start going to your county meetings, record it, get video of it, get these people, get their faces. When they're saying something, get their faces and put it online, and get more people to be able to watch it. People like me, be able to watch your thing over there in Oregon or something, that whatever's going on. And hey, man, that's messed up over there. And just because you had that up online and I go, hey, that's messed up, and then boom, I get the attention of 3 or 4 people in Oregon that know what I'm talking about, and they go, yeah, that is messed up.
That's exactly what I did, man. That when I realized I was going through this whole thing, I was like, hey, the Air Force trained me how to document and report events on video. I'm gonna start doing that. And I never thought that I'd be in the position where I was documenting corrupt police officers, but I was like, here I am. And that's why my website, I've had it up here on for the whole show. Barden.us is videos, me questioning the police officer, asking her about targeted individuals, telling her that people were breaking into my house, vandalizing my vehicles, following me, blah, 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 all of that. And then she basically...
And exposure works, because I had 400. I had only 400 subs on my YouTube channel. I got 1,700 now, but I only had 400 subs on my YouTube channel, and I literally had the DA crying. Okay, almost crying. Oh, just about almost crying, saying that I'm costing the state too much money. She's panicking about me getting on YouTube, having people come into my trial and stuff like that. She doesn't want the people, the woman that supposedly talks for the people, does not want the people to show up at a hearing, right, and find out what their people's representative is saying on their behalf.
Yeah.
You know,
which proves that they're about money and not your freedom and actual true justice.
Yeah, so much proves it. Yeah.
All right, hey everybody. Same position. Talking about court and all that. I've lost $50,000 going through this whole process. I lost my house in California. My life's like a country song. I've lost it all, and I've been scraping by just to pay my bills. I'm working 2 part-time jobs, digging ditches, just trying to survive. So my PayPal is up here. I would appreciate any kind of help too, just to get through this. Let's see, what do I always forget to say? Like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Please share this video.
And then like and then unsubscribe to my channel over there. Okay. Yeah, I want to try and get my YouTube channel down to 0. And then I have I have an Odyssey and a BitChute and a Rumble channel. And man, I gotta tell you about Odyssey. It's freaking awesome, by the way. We'll talk about that offline at some point. And then let me address this one question in here. It says give us your opinion on Patriot Street Fighters. Cheers. Go ahead.
Perfect timing, because I'm just going to be completely honest with everybody. I have to go to the bathroom. I drank like 3 cups of coffee, so I'm going to multitask, take a bio break, and you can address this question, and I'll be back in like 2 and 2.
All right, rock on. Okay, so we've got Patriot Street Fighters. Okay, so I'm really glad we have the answer that I can answer this with Red Squirrel. Shout out to Red in the chat over there. My girl up in Wisconsin, and we are having issues right now with, like, I don't know if it's like a disinformation campaign or people just don't understand what oath enforcers is over there, or maybe a terminology thing. People think that oath enforcers has the word force in it, and so therefore we're going to be using force. Okay, that's not what it is. We're going to be enforcing by using peaceful, nonviolent, like paperwork, pen is mightier than the sword, that sort of stuff. Okay. So Patriot Street Fighters was saying that we were promoting violence and that we were setting up militias, and that is absolutely not the case. We are absolutely 100% not a militia. I would love to be on with Scott if everyone over here, as many people as possible, would go over and send Scott a contact and say, you need to have Vince Edwards on. Please go ahead and do so. I don't care how we get everybody together. I don't care how we have to spread it all around. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. I want my own podium. I'd like to talk to at least 100K people whenever I want, when I get pissed off about something that I don't like, about something of mine that might be getting taken away. Okay. So I'll be straight with you there. You know what I'm saying? I want my podium to be able to do that. But what we need is these local oath enforcement teams. Okay. That are there to help you out when your rights are getting violated. And then Patriot Street Fighters, both myself and Red have been banned from that chat room. Okay. Because of that. And then I actually have, if you go to my Odyssey channel, a couple of videos back, and I can actually provide that link to you. And that is where I addressed what was being said about that. The disinformation, definitely defamation. Because it's literally saying, please don't share oath enforcers links in the chat. The founder has come in the group arguing against what Scott stands for. They are also associated with militia groups, and we are not allowing the promotion of militia groups in our chat. Okay, then none of that is true.
It sounds like the slander campaign that we talk about in the targeted individual community all the time, and it's a standard tactic. They just slander whoever they want and try disinformation, like you're saying. And I always tell people, you know, there's so many people that say this guy's a shill, this guy's a plant, this guy's a this or that, and even
And so many
disinformation.
people buy that right off the bat too. That's the other half of that problem. You know,
Here's
it's
the way
one thing for people to just say shit, but you're not supposed to just believe people say shit.
Here's the way I look at it.
You know?
Even disinformation agents give 80% truth, 20% disinformation. So they're putting out information like people use Alex Jones, say, as a disinformation agent guy. If he's giving out 20% disinformation, you're still getting 80% of the truth that you can use and discern what is legitimate and what is not legitimate through your own research and come to your most plausible conclusion of what's legitimate or not. So I do my best to, I shouldn't even have said his name and used him as an example, but in general, there are people out there that are disinformation agents, and they will try to lead you in the wrong direction after hooking you with 80% truth. And you're like, oh, this guy's on my side, this and that. 80% of what they're saying is the truth. And you can build your foundation with, that, but then discern.
And they can go further than 80% because I say in my intro video, somebody could tell you the truth for 10 years just to set you up for one big fat lie.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
And we've seen that happen over and over again if you've been paying attention long enough.
And then everybody's like, oh, well, but that guy said it. It's that guy that said it, though.
Yeah.
Even though it's still hearsay and I've got no evidence of it, but it's that guy and he's always been right.
Yeah. So always do your own research. Always make your own decisions based on your own research and your own experience and your common sense, your critical thinking skills.
And take matters into your own hands. I'm here today telling you to take the law, which is the supreme law of the land, into your own hands, because the people that are the oath keepers, okay, and let's clarify, right? Kill two birds with one stone, right here. The oath keepers is what's said in the chat here. We're not oath keepers. We don't have any opinion on the official oath keepers organization, but in my opinion, the oath keepers, all lowercase, meaning the descriptive words, right? Those are the people that take the oath.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Why do we have a different organization called Oath Keepers? That's my only response to anything that's, having to do with Oath Keepers.
Yeah.
We need people that there's nobody to enforce the oath when the oath is being violated, and human beings just generally, as a rule, will stretch their boundaries. They will explore their boundaries. You can't just sit there and tell your kids don't do it. I was having a conversation with somebody just today about this, about disciplining your kids. You can't just say don't do it because I say don't do it. You have to explain, don't do it because you're going to get harmed because of this, or this, don't do it because this is bad for your health, or whatever it is, or don't do it because you're going to get addicted to this or that thing. They have to actually really know why it's bad for them to not do it.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they're going to go do all this stuff.
Don't be the because I said so person.
Right.
Give a reason why, and do the same thing for yourself. If somebody says don't do that, well, why? You know how many times I got told by teachers going through school, if you say why one more time, I'm going to kick you out of here. And I'd say, well, why?
I bet if the punishment was death for violating the oath, it would work out better. Huh? Yeah. Jesus. I think I remember something about the punishment for, did they change that at some point? I thought that was death.
Yeah. Treason. That's that's the
something
punishment.
like death. Somewhere around anywhere between death and 5 years, I think, officially. But actually, they've watered it down in statutes now. It's to only 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the corporate. Virginia company.
The corporate,
corporate law.
Depends on which constitution you're using.
Yeah, I have this strange feeling that we're going to go back to the original Constitution.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Here's a Q crumb for you. Okay, little Q crumb. All right, towards the end of the program, if you stayed till the end, And that is, I think it's interesting that there's been no State of the Union, because that is actually evidence that there possibly could be a dissolved corporation. Okay, that is actual evidence of a possible dissolved corporation. I've not seen any other evidence of it. Okay.
Oh, I got some.
As I say in my intro, you know what I'm saying? And feel free to forward that, Michael, if you've got that.
No, yeah, let me tell you about it real quick.
Yeah.
And I talked to Branson about this, and he was, well, I'll just say what my girlfriend Andrea found. She's a pretty damn good investigator. She's figured some things out that literally no one on the planet has. But she found this link to what was the website? Andrea, you in here? Oh, she must have went upstairs. To a bankruptcy court in Florida, and it shows that the corporation of the United States actually closed a bankruptcy case on January 25th. Inforupcy.com, I believe it is. And they closed January 25th. Inforupcy. Damn, here, let me see if I can find it on my phone here. Inforupcy.
Inforupcy.
Oh, okay. The Inforupcy.
I think I got it spelled right. Let's see how good I am. This is Marketplace. Bankruptcy assets.
Oh, let's see. I know I have the link. It's kind of interesting. Brandon was saying that
tons of bankruptcy deals, one place.
But it actually shows the. Here, let me see if I can.
I'll drop the link.
Here, I'm gonna try to find it. I'm gonna open another.
By the way, shout out to Summer. It is nice to be heard. Thank you.
Yeah, the viewers are loving what you have to say, man. Telling us this is a great interview, and I agree. I appreciate you being here. And I think more people need to do this. Don't just watch us. Start your own damn channel. I mean,
people are awake. We've got so many people that are awake. Yep. And like people like Summer, she needs her own channel. I don't know why she does. Hopefully she has her own channel. She's starting up some social media. If you don't know how to do it, we'll like get you all set up, man. We'll make all this like cookie cutter. You know, set up your own non-big tech, by the way. Don't get started on YouTube. Sorry, you know. The guy with the tinfoil hat says, don't get started on YouTube. Get started somewhere else. I wish that I spent the last 4 or 5 years of building my social media in the last 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it, 10, 12 years ago or something like that. But the last 4 or 5 was on YouTube, and it should have been, on alternative. I should have been on BitChute a lot earlier than that. Other alternatives that were around then. You had Steemit, you had D Live is actually you have the former president of the Berkeley Communist Business Leaders Association or something like that. He's over on LinkedIn. If you check out his LinkedIn profile, that's the CEO of D Live. So that's totally a commie network. You've got Twitch. Wow. Totally a commie network that's owned by Bezos. Twitch is owned by Bezos, in case anybody doesn't know that.
Okay.
So, you might as well be on Twitter, right? Periscope got shut down. They I guess, I don't know why, but I mean, that was just Twitter anyway. So
here, I found it, man. Okay, check this out. Case number 420 BK 40375, United States Corporation Company, Florida Northern Bankruptcy Court, U.S. Bankruptcy Court, Northern District, Tallahassee, bankruptcy petition.
Holy.
Date file. Okay. Chapter 11, involuntary.
No shit.
Bidder disposition dismissed for other reason. Let's see. I don't think this is the final.
Whoa, what is this? China Teletech Holding? What the heck is that?
Yeah. These are the doing business as corporation service companies, coastal.
Are those the creditors?
Yeah, I believe.
Holy.
China Teletech Holding, China Fifth Floor.
Scroll back up a little bit.
Yeah.
What does that say right there? It says filing against. You'd be filing against the creditors, right?
Okay, I'm not educated on this enough.
Debtor disposition dismissed for other reason. Alleged debtor. is the United States corporation, company, doing business as. Oh, okay. This is all the different doing businesses as. Okay, all right, we've clarified that. Holy crap! What? Okay, doing business as they're doing business as all these other companies. So they're doing business as China Telecom America Corporation, China Teletech Holding Incorporated. Oh yeah, by the way, all these different governments of the world are just subsidiaries of the United States government. I forgot to mention, yeah, that I already kind of knew. So why did that surprise me? But anyway, go ahead and let's move along. This is pretty wild.
There are other people that could look at this and explain what this is all about way better than I can. But since
that's just a few of the DBAs.
Yeah,
like they're literally DBA every name of every country in the world, pretty much. If you go out to Dun and Bradstreet, yep.
Look at the petitioning creditor, highly favored Shekinah L.
I don't know.
Shekinah. Jacksonville, Florida, Morris Science Temple of America. That's weird. They're the ones that petitioned this. The Moors are the ones that learn a lot about constitutional difference between constitutional and maritime law. Interesting. Doing business out of court of equity and truth.
Yeah, that's something that I would want to get into in depth, like offline, and then come back at it and do this on another broadcast. Definitely.
So here,
I'd want to sit there and go through that doc. So definitely make sure I got a link to that, please, in my box there.
Okay, I'll put the link to this in the chat. But look at this very last one right here. January 25th, bankruptcy case closed, entered 1/25/2021. So bankruptcy case for the United States Corporation Company closed on January 25th. Now, this may be way different than what it sounds like.
Of what year?
The 2021.
Okay.
January 25th, 2021. Bankruptcy case closed.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now that I got that date in my head, that's probably going to... I've got nothing solid at the moment, but I bet that's going to bump into a few other dates in the coming days.
Okay. Well, here, I'll just put it in the chat here.
That's interesting. It's an interesting date. I'll say that.
Check it out.
But again, I don't want to get anybody too excited because it's almost like a fear that I have, right? You got to keep the fire under everybody's ass. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, they'll not set up this organization that's going to protect my great-grandchildren. Is what I'm trying to do here. Set up the firewall for the Republic. That's what another little key slogan I've got. The firewall. We're trying to build a firewall in our Republic, which is the Oath Enforcers. We need this other non-agency. It's just just private citizens on their own taking it upon themselves to hold their public servants accountable. That's all this is.
Why won't it let me put this in the chat? Is anybody seeing that link in the chat?
I have to go over and check the chat. I am seeing the link in the chat.
Oh, you are?
Link confirmed.
Okay. Well, I just put it a whole bunch of times in, I guess. I'm not seeing it on my end.
Link confirmed 3 times.
Okay. Well, there you go. You've got it
4
3 times, folks. All right. So, I don't know if that's a big deal or not. Or if it's something
double, triple, quadruple, cinco confirmed.
All right. Mission control error.
Cool. We have...
Okay. Well,
I think we got confirmation.
Okay. Right on. Let's see.
Full confirmation.
Okay. All right. Well, that's something for you guys to research on your own. If you know more about court cases than I do, check that out. Look into it. You can message me on Twitter still, or however you want to message me. I'm on Telegram too. Just my name, Michael Barden. And let us know what you think about that whole situation. So, all right, man. Well, I think, let's see, we've been here an hour, 20 minutes. I think
join us. We need you to enforce the Constitution. It's up to you. It's up to us. If we don't do it, nobody else will.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, hey, man, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with me and helping educate us on some stuff that we didn't know about, and starting some of these groups to protect people's constitutional rights. I really wish at the time of my arrest I would have had an Oath Keeper's number in my phone.
Amen to that.
A First Amendment auditor in my phone, and been able to call them up and say, here's my pinned location.
Yep.
This is going on right now.
Yep.
And then I could have sat there on the curb and not said a word and waited for some witnesses to show up.
That's a valuable service. People in a free market should think about providing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Well, everybody, find Vince on Telegram. Check out some of what he's doing. Help support what he's doing. And I'd like to have you on here again, man. If you have a chance, we can
absolutely
we can talk again. I mean, we could probably do this once a week, and
man,
never run out of stuff to say.
I only got to sleep about probably 4 to 6 hours a night.
Okay, well, I need more than that, but that's pretty
right
awesome.
on.
All right.
Other than that, I'm working this. You know what I'm saying? Try. I mean, because people can have their own interests and stuff like that, and you can say whether you're interested in this or not. But this is like really, literally at this point a requirement for you to do this so that you can do all that other stuff that you want to do. And I guess that's the best probably way for me to leave that.
Right on. Well, thank you again, man, and it's been great talking with you. And we'll have to do this again.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael.
No problem.
For the opportunity.
My pleasure. Right.
God bless the Patriots.
Absolutely. Have a great day, man.
Right on.